Lori, we've talked a lot about a lot of different things so far, all ways to bring your team to its highest level. When I say team, it's your employees, it's your staff, it's your executive team, whatever it is, your team. It should always be thinking as a whole. We want to bring them up. We want to elevate those people. So how do you do that? You have to make it an employee-centered organization. So it's not about you. I think this is the hardest thing that I've learned thus far is every single person thinks this way. What is in it for me? 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 The whiff them. What is in it for me? Well, you have to think that way, instead of what is in it for me, what is in it for them? In your mind, always, what is in it for them? You have to create that situation where your people believe it's about them. So one year I had a group of young players and I had a group of seniors who were not leaders. They had not yet elevated to that place. And so I had a bunch of freshmen, a few sophomores, no juniors, and some seniors. So I was like, we have to create this sense that my leaders feel that they're in charge. They need to feel that way. So the very first practice, first of all, it's raining and we're gonna run outside. So all the young kids are called up their leaders and going, we're not gonna have practice, are we? We're not gonna have practice, are we? And they're like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna go outside and run. She'd make us run in the rain. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be running. So go to the track and I call up my leaders and I'm like, Veronica, get over here. Jahan, get over here. And so I say to them, down. They're like, what? I'm like, down. And they're like, it's wet. And I go, yes, I know it's wet. I said, get down. I want you to get in a frozen push-up position. So they're like this, they're in a plank position. They're up here. I go, okay. So I want to know, ladies, if you're going to be in charge of this team, why there were basketballs left out in the gym yesterday. What was going on? You're the leaders. You got to make sure those are put away. You've got to understand. And I'm going on and on and on. The little freshmen are going, why is she yelling at them? Why is she yelling at them? And then I go, okay, everybody get in a V. So now I put them up in a sit-up position where they're like, in a V. I said, okay. I said, I want to know what's going on in the locker room. Who left the locker room dirty? You're the leaders of the team. You need to make sure that the locker room's clean. And I go on. This is like 10 minutes of this. And the poor little freshmen are freezing to death. They're screaming. And the leaders are like, okay, this is not fun. So the next day we get back on the line. And I go, all right. I said, I want to know how come somebody was late to the team. And the leaders are looking around. They're like, is going on? I said, all right, leaders, go run. And so the other people are watching them run. They're like, oh my gosh. So pretty soon, one of the ladies, Veronica, goes, all right, ladies, get your earrings off, tuck your shirt tails in, get on this line. Like she just took over. And you can't do this to organizations. You can't punish your people into the place of leadership. But the point is, here's what happened. These players understood it was their team and not my team. I'm giving them all the power and I'm showing them in front of their teammates, like, this is your team. You take care of it. And ladies, you have to listen to them. And the most amazing thing happened is that these ladies who were silent took over. They led the team. They were very vocal on the team. They told people how they needed to behave. And they were not mean about it. They just go, listen, are you going to defend that player? Because if you're not, I'm going to take her over. You got to decide if you're going to stop her or I'm not, because I will do it. They were very I won't say forceful. It wasn't negative. But it was their team. They had the power. They knew they had the power, and they knew I backed them. So if you want you have to think about how can you put your people in positions of power? How can you make them feel like they can have choices and control over what their circumstances are? You've got to give them that power, whatever that looks like, and however you can delve it out is really, really important because people need to feel powerful. They need to feel that confidence that you have in them to do the job. So I could walk away from the team. And I knew that Veronica and Jahan were going to take care of it. I knew that. And the amazing thing about Veronica is when she started as a player, she could barely speak. I mean, she was just like, what do you think, Veronica? Ba, 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 ba. What'd you say, Veronica? Ba, 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 ba. Can't hear you, Veronica. And so what she developed was a voice. The more that we would say, we want to hear what you have to say, Veronica, and you speak up. This is really important. We have confidence in you. The more that she would speak up. Your players need to feel empowered. They need to feel that they have the ability to go out and do what they need to do with your full confidence behind them. That's how you create that next level of leadership.